Science and faith. Why is this a controversy? Well, people think either science or faith is correct. When is the truth that they offer even the same? Because you have scientific truth and you have moral truth, and they're not the same thing. So why do they conflict? And why can't both science and faith work together? Well, to understand this, have a look at scientific truth. It's objective and repeatable phenomena that we can predict. It means that you can predict the outcome of an event, knowing that you know a set amount of variables about it. And an example of this is the conduction engine. The prediction is that it will produce kinetic energy, and the condition is that you need fuel to burn it. And then you've got the semiconductor laser, it will produce an intense beam of light, and given that you have a voltage applied to the device, science allows us to predict the outcomes of a system. Moral truth, what is it? It's philosophies and behaviours that benefit an individual or group. This is a way of life people project on themselves and others. Moral truth is completely subjective to the individual. And an example of this is biblical stories that tell a key moral and how that affects individuals or groups. And these stories may or not be fiction, but you have many different biblical characters, Job, Moses and Jesus, and the morals they have to project to the world are all different depending on the story. Then you have fairy tales, which are fictional stories told to children, which are normally dumbed down biblical morals that show a difference between good and evil. Good being the way how you should act, evil being the way how you shouldn't act. So morals provide a way of life so people can survive better and be happier. So I've only got 5 minutes to do this video, so I can't really go into too much detail. But I've scratched the surface, and I'm going to give a couple of opinions on why they conflict and everything like that. But you'll be able to make your own decision up by the end of it. So why do the truths conflict? And that's because, in my opinion, people want the objective truths to what actually happened in the biblical stories. They don't want to focus on the morals. So an example of this is the story of Genesis. It talks about the creation of the universe in 7 days. Science disproves this. You've got the Big Bang Theory and the expansion of the universe, and it took billions of years for stuff to be created. But also in the story of Genesis, it talks about resisting temptation for the greater good. It's a story of sacrifice and how if you give in to your temptations, you'll be damned for it, and so will the people around you. And that's mankind's fall into sin from Adam eating the forbidden apple, the apple of forbidden knowledge. And Satan, who represents temptation, causes him to eat this apple. And the science offers no insight on the validity of the moral. And so if we abandon these morals that have been given to us, that we've built our society on, like either Western society is built on Christian morals, Judeo-Christian morals, what will happen to society if we only pursue the objective truths given to us by science? And Nietzsche in 1882 made a prediction, and he said that we killed God. And how can we comfort ourselves? And we can't wipe the blood off of ourselves. And what will we do? What festivals will we create? What games will we invent to get over the fact that we've killed God? Which morals will we invent based on scientific reason? And he said that it won't be very successful. And the story of the 20th century, with the literal religion, the stories of religion were proved untrue. Now, secularity, being secular, was really accepted. And then you had tyrannical dictators based on secular society. So you had Hitler, you had Stalin, you had Lenin, and they either discriminated on race or class rather than actions. You had the 2 world wars, and it was really a very bloody 20th century. So do we only really need one type of truth? And my answer to that is no, we need both to work hand in hand. So this conflict of interest, trying to prove if either scientific truth is correct or moral truth is correct, is pretty useless, really. It shouldn't be a controversy because they're both different things. But I've just scratched the surface, and it's up to you to make your mind up.